Hi everybody, this is a video about ragging because the Catholic priest argument, I got way too many people giving me the deer in the headlights on that assignment. And so what I've got here is I've got the original argument for the Catholic priests becoming a pope and the pope has to be a bachelor argument. And I've got my 5 premises and I've got my 1 conclusion that the pope has to be a bachelor. And now your job is at this point to look at it and say, if I pretend like everything here is true, does it all logically add up to a good conclusion? And yes, all of these things, I could draw a circle diagram and I could show that the Catholic priest is a man and the Pope is a Catholic priest, therefore the Pope is a man and he can never get married. That means that the Pope is a man who can't get married, and any man who's not married has to be a bachelor, so the Pope has to be a Catholic priest who is a man who can't get married, and so that conclusion that the Pope has to be a bachelor sounds like it's pretty good. There's nothing about that that makes me scream blue bloody murder and go, no, that doesn't add up. It's not absolutely valid, but it sounds like it pretty much mostly adds up. So now I have to rag on it to see if it really is a cogent argument, whether every one of these facts is true and how true they are. And I start with every Catholic priest is a man, and I ask myself, is that relevant? And is it relevant? Yes, it's relevant. Why is it relevant? Because a priest being a man connects to men who aren't married and who can't fall in love. If a man who can't get married and the Pope not being married would make him a bachelor. So it connects together to become what's called positively relevant, as in anything that makes the conclusion more likely to be true is positively relevant. Anything that makes the conclusion less likely to be true is negatively relevant. And anything that does neither of those two things is irrelevant. We don't care about it. We erase it. So, okay, well, I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to go relevant. I'm going to say positively relevant. Positively. There we go. Positively relevant. That's all I really have to say. And then I'll go acceptability. Is it acceptable? And what happened in class, almost across the board, I would say maybe there were 8 out of 120 of you who actually did any real work. You're supposed to go somewhere and find proof that this is in fact true, that you have to be a man. So we'll go to our friend the Googles and we'll type in something like Catholic Church rules for becoming a priest. And it'll pull up a whole bunch of results. And oh, look, clerical celibacy, Wikipedia. Or I can go down here and I can go to Wikipedia. And now here's the deal about Wikipedia. It's actually useful, and we've talked about this, and she talks about it in chapter 5. I can go here. Well, celibacy, that's not what I'm looking for. It can be a good, useful search engine and a good, useful site because it has lots and lots of citations. So we click on the Wikipedia for priesthood in the Catholic Church, and I can scan it over, but I'm not going to cite to Wikipedia because that's a bad thing. Instead, I'm going to go down here. They've got their little outline of all of the information that they have for this. I'm just going to go straight to the references. And I go, okay, well, here's not a reference that I can do anything except another Google search on. Whereas here's an active link, Catechism of the Catholic Church, intratext. And I click on that, and boom goes the dynamite. Here I am in the official rule book of the Catholic Church, and I can look that stuff up, and I can find it all here. And so I'm just going to copy this name because I don't want to be writing and rewriting the word catechism because it's spelled funny, catechism, and I don't like that. So instead, I'm just going to copy the word, and I will have actually read all of the rules, and I would copy the rules. But what I would say is, boo, and I have read all the rules, according to the paste Catechism of the Catholic Church. Oh, no, you don't. Go back. According to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, all Catholic priests must be includes. And I'll go back over to the Googles, and I'll just, up here in the URL bar, I'm going to delete the specific place, and I'm going to go like that. I'm going to copy this, but I'm going to go to it first, just so I can see where the rule book is officially contained on their website. No, it's coming from the smallest country on the planet, the Vatican, and so they have a really small server. It's probably even a computer that's worse than what we have at UNLV in our classrooms. Okay, so now I've got the English version, and so I can go looking through here. I'm like, da 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 da, and I can't find anything. See, this takes so much work. Now I just type the search bar, I paste in, oh Christ, that was horrible. So catechism, I think that's how you spell it. And I type in catechism, like, no, obviously I've spelled it wrong. So now I go back to where I had the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and I do this, and I copy that word, and then I go back to that page where I was actually doing the search, and I type that in, spelled properly, and boom, Catholic, there it is, boom shakalaka. I go to the Catechism of the Church, copy that URL, and then I paste it, boop, right there. And now you or anybody else can go to that website, read the rules for yourself, and be 100% sure that this first premise, every Catholic priest is a man, which was number 1, is not BS. And now I move on to number 2. The Pope is a Catholic priest. Relevant, same as number 1, period, space, space. Is it acceptable? Boop. Is it acceptable? Same as number 1. That's all you had to do with that one. Priests can never get married. Relevant, relevant. Same as number 1. Is it acceptable that Catholic priests can never get married? Yeah, but not 100%. The argument is that the Pope must be a bachelor. Don't know why I capitalized that. I don't care. Never cared about that all that much. I mean, if you write like a chimp, I'm going to bust your nuts for it. But otherwise, I don't care about little things like that. The Pope must be a bachelor, right? But the priests who become Pope could, according to the rule book, be married, become priests, and rise up to La Pope. Same source as number 1. Period. Boom, Catholic priests can fall in love. Relevant? No. It does not make the conclusion more or less likely to be true. That means we get rid of it. So we highlight it, and we go here, and then up here on my menu somewhere in my new version of Microsoft Word, there's going to be a strike through feature, I guess, but maybe not. I don't know. It seems like, oh, there it is. Boop. And I draw a line through it, and now it's gone. I could do that and put the strike through on there, or I could do something even cheekier. I could just get rid of it altogether. And my last premise, a man who is not married is a bachelor. Relevant? Yes. Same as number 1. Acceptable? Yes. And this is a little bit tricky. Here's why it's a little bit tricky. If I go back to my good old friend, the Google, and I type in definition bachelor, it takes me to a man who is not and has never been married. And I say to myself, well, I don't know where this came from. Oh, by the way, a person who holds an undergraduate degree from a university or college, only in titles or set expressions. Okay, you got a bachelor's degree, but that's not the meaning of that word in context. The plain ordinary meaning in the context of our conversation about the Bachelor Pope has nothing to do with whether or not the Pope went to college. It has to do with whether the Pope has or has not been married. So you got this definition that says married and never been married. And then we go to Merriam-Webster's dictionary and we look at that. And Merriam-Webster's dictionary says a young knight who follows a banner of another. No, not the context. A person who has received a degree. No, an unmarried man. He chooses to remain a bachelor, a male, without a mate during breeding time. Ew, I don't want to get into when is breeding time for humans. But the Webster's dictionary apparently has no qualification for never been married. And then we can go looking at other sources. But what we can come to when we go back to our argument is some dictionaries say that a bachelor is not and never has been married, but the church allows men to become priests even if they were married and their wife apostrophe, I don't know how to do that. Do I wife/wives died, etc. So in context, this is just the unmarried definition, and it is acceptable. But up. And now because I got rid of the old premise 4 and premise 5 became premise 4, I have a 4-premise argument. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. So now I go grounds. The 4 premises logic together to mostly justify this argument's conclusion. Remember, you're not talking about the relevance or the acceptability of the conclusion. We use relevance and acceptability for evidence to see if it belongs in the argument and whether it's good. And then we take the relevant and good evidence and we logic it together to see how strongly it logics together to justify the conclusion. So grounds applies only to the conclusion, not relevance and acceptability. And relevance and acceptability apply only to the premises, and grounds never applies to any of the premises. So here we are just doing the grounds for the conclusion. The 4 premises logic together to mostly justify this argument's conclusion. A person who was married or who is married and who switches to Team Catholic could become a priest and then Pope, according to the official rules cited above. And that's it. I would also want to throw on, this is a very cogent argument. It is possible that it is false in a very, very, very small percentage of the cases, but it is probably true most of the time. 99%, I'm going to call it. Period. The end. And that's how you rag on an argument. So I hope you watch this video end to end, because the accompanying assignment that comes along with it, I will expect you to do the same thing. But instead of only having one source, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, you're going to have multiple things to look up from other sources. So pretty pleased with sugar on top. Do a good job, because this is exactly what you're going to do on the final, and nobody wants to fail that, because that is in fact your grade for the semester. Anyway, love and miss you. Sorry about Thursday, and sorry about if you can hear the wild krats or the fairly odd squad in the background.